Namaste. Now I would like to show you a couple of back strengtheners. We're just going to start with an inhalation and exhale. And this time try to scoop up as much as you can on the outside as you draw your arms up and inhale. And exhale. One last time. And exhale. We're going to start with Shalambhasana. A simplified version of it. I'm going to take the blanket, unfold it for softness. And we're starting by lying down on our stomach. And we're just going to stretch out. Face is down, so we're looking onto the ground. We're going to walk our fingers out. And we're going to extend our legs as much as we can. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths here by giving our back a little bit of traction. On each exhalation, try to stretch out just 1 millimeter more. Last breath. And now we're going to take our chair and we're starting to walk up the chair with our hands. This is lifting our chest off the blanket. And at the same time, we're going to lift our chest and walk a little further up. This depends on how long your arms are. And we're going to pull ourselves up on the chair as much as we can, extending from the hips to the torso. We're going to move with the breath. Inhaling, on the exhalation, try to walk up a little bit more. Your shoulders are heavy. They're trying to push back down. And now we're starting to lift. Our feet are together, our buttock is tucked, and our sacrum is down. And from here, we're just trying to get our one leg up, and we're going to inhale, and we're going to lift that knee off the ground. Try to lift it maybe a half an inch, that's all we need to do. Now, if you feel your sacrum tightening at any time, it's this region right here in your lower back, you just let go again. It is better to repeat than to feel the sacrum really getting tight. So inhale and lift the knee. Try to keep it as long as you can, but if your sacrum is tightening, just bring that leg back down. Another inhalation. On the exhalation, lift. And back down. We're going to try the other side. Left leg comes up. Inhale, lift. Our hip is pressing down. Our knees coming off the blanket. And again, we do this with the breath. Inhale, lift as we're looking down on our sticky mat. Keeping the back in line. Relax. Take a breather if you need to. Inhale, lift. And lower. And now we're going to isolate, and we're going to do each leg at a time. We're going to lift the right one. And touch back down. You might want to just separate those legs a little bit and lift again. And come back down. Same side one more time. Come back down, and the opposite. In the meantime, see if you're really stretched out here in the front. Lifting the left leg, pointing the toes, stretching from your hip to the toes. Come back down. Now you can stay here for as long as you can until your sacrum is giving you trouble, or your lower back, your lumbar region. Listen to your body. Get in touch with these areas that speak to you. We need to be gentle with our lower back. And we're just going to repeat this exercise one more time. Right side lifting. Now the important thing here is also that you have that foot in the right direction. It's important to lift so that when you come back with the top of the foot, that you are more on the pinky toe side, on the side of your foot, than on the big toe side. It's a very small adjustment, but that makes your sacrum happy. Extend that leg and lift. I'm going to do the left side again. First, stretch out, take an inhalation, and then lift. Keep breathing. Lift again, exhale. Making sure the top of the foot is coming back down. And now we're going to do it one more time, but just relax. In case your lower back is giving you a hard time, relax, take a breath. We're going to do this sequence just one more time, lifting both legs at the same time. First, reach out, making sure you pull your upper body out. Take an inhalation, looking down, and then lift both legs. Keeping them there for as long as you can until your lower back starts cramping or giving you trouble. If it doesn't, you can stay there. This is all strengthening the lower back. Exhale, lift. Come back down. And if you can still do it, try it one more time. Lifting on the exhalation. Now we can just push this chair back out, and I would like you to roll over onto your back. We're just going to do a little counter pose. We're going to keep our arms, our elbows underneath the shoulders, and we're going to lift our hip up and bring the head back. Keep breathing. One more inhalation. Come back down. We're going to do it one more time. Take a breath. On the exhalation, lift the hip. Look up at the ceiling. Come back down. And we're going to try it one more time. Inhale and lift. And come back down. We're going to roll over and we are going to go into Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana is very similar to Shavasana. So we're going to bring the elbows close, preferably right onto the blanket at a 90-degree angle. And from here, we're going to pull. We're going to raise the head and the chest. And we bring the arms beside our rib cage. And we're going to inhale and lift our chest and try to look up as high as you can. Keep breathing. and lower and rest. Now the important thing here is not to hang in the shoulders. You want to make sure that you have strong shoulders, that these shoulders are rounded while we're pulling and lifting at the same time. So inhale, lift, expand the chest, shoulder blades slide down, look up. Keep this lifting as much as you can and come back down. Just rest for a few minutes. And again, squeeze the buttock, tuck the sacrum, take an inhalation and lift up and out. It's better to repeat this than keep on holding the pose for too long. If you want to do it again, you can do this as many times as you like. It will strengthen your back. I'm just going to do it one last time. I'm going to take an inhalation, pull my body out of my waist before I lift through my shoulders, open the chest, and bring my head back as much as I can, looking up. And relax. These are small strengthening moves. We're just going to take a breather. And what you're actually trying to do here is you're trying to bring the arms back more and more. As you get better in this pose, try to see if you can bring the arms back and try to come up even a little bit higher. The more you bring the elbows back, the more you can lift. But it all depends on your lower back and how much your lower back can take. The important thing is to lift out first, up and out, and then up. And as you get better, you slide the hands back even more and more and more. That would be a true Bhujangasana. Now, I would like to show you something else. We're going to be on our hands and our knees. And we're going to make sure that we are lined up correctly. The hands are underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath the hip. And from here, we're just going to keep a really long back. What we want to do is we're going to stretch from the head to the hip first. Try to create one big line. So your hips are pressing back here, and your head is trying to come forward. And at the same time, you're going to stretch that right arm out, making sure you're staying parallel. Keep breathing, looking down, and you're stretching from these fingertips to the hips. Breathing, and come back down. You're going to do it again. You're going to lift 3 times. Keep the shoulders parallel to the blanket. And you do this to your own liking. You don't have to hold as long as I hold. And you don't have to repeat it as many times either. This is up to the individual. Lifting the left arm. Again, stretching the fingertips to the hips. Bringing this good stretch from the waist to the shoulder to the fingers. And again, always on the exhalation, lifting, looking down, long back. Then for the last time, lifting. And come back. So now we're going to do this with the leg. You're going to inhale and exhale, lift. Now make sure that you do not open that hip. This would not do much here. The exercise is like this, where you keep a very parallel hip, parallel to the ground, and lifting, stretching from your shoulders across the lower back to the toes. Come back, take a breather, and lift again. Staying parallel. Your timing will increase over time, so we need to be patient. I'm staying for about 3 breaths, and then we're going to do the other leg. Making sure the hip is truthful, parallel to the ground. Lifting up like that would be very easy. That's not the exercise. This is strengthening your lower back. Again, inhale, exhale, lift. And one more time, lift. And now we're going to do this diagonally. Okay, we're going to raise the right arm, looking down, left leg, and really stretch from those fingers to the toes, diagonally across the back. Come back. Lift. Pushing the left hip down. Come back. Long back and lift. Now the other side. At any time, if you need to take a breather, please feel free to do so. Lift. Oops, sometimes this doesn't work as well. That's okay. Stretching from the left side to the toes. Coming back. And again, lift. It's tricky to keep your balance here. And one more time. And as you can see, it's always easier on one side as it is on the other. That's just natural. And come back and relax in child pose. And again, you can use an alternative to child pose by using the bolster. If you like to use the bolster, you can simply put it between your knees like this and lie over it, which is very pleasant. And if you have knee problems, you would just simply stretch out your knees and lie over flat. Concentrate on bringing the attention right here around your lower back and really stretch this. You can turn your head to the other side. And now for the last thing, I just want to show you plank. This will be the very last thing we do. And again, if you do have problems with your wrists, you could do this on your forearms. But you want to sort of walk your feet out until the body is completely straight. Your hands are underneath the shoulders, lifting from the hip and extending your feet back. Your heels are drawn back here. We're looking down, extending the spine, lifting the core. And again, you don't have to hold it forever. This is up to the individual. I just want to show you. It would be about this distance, so you can hold your arms, forearms, and coming up, walking your feet back, and doing a lift from your plank, pressing the wrists down. I keep my toes together. I'm pressing my arms and my hands forward, and I'm lifting, pressing into my heals as well. And come back. And now we're going into Viparita Karani. For this we need a wall and a blanket. And the sticky mat so the bolster does not move. The bolster is placed maybe 6 inches from the wall. And keep your sandbag handy so you can reach it. The way you get into this pose is by sliding your hip against the wall and then sliding down to the edge of the bolster so you can now easily bring the legs up against the wall and now adjust this bolster to where it feels really good. And then we take our sandbag and we're going to put this right onto the tummy. So on the hip bones and tummy, we did a lot of exercising with our lower back, so this will give it a good counterweight. And our hands come above our head. Now, if your elbows happen to be sticking up, then you will keep your hands here. Try to slide the elbows up until they leave the ground. You don't want to have any kind of pressure on your shoulders. Make sure that the elbows stay on the ground as you bring your arms up. And now you're going to close your eyes. And you're just going to stay here for 5 to 10 minutes and do nothing but breathe and enjoy the feeling of Viparita Karani. This is a very relaxing pose because the heart is lower than the hip. So it makes the blood flow a little easier. That's why we really cherish this pose. And when we come out of this, we simply take our sandbag away. And then we're going to slide our feet down. And now you can scooch away, walk your shoulders away. And I actually like to always come up into a little bit of a child pose here because we're still supported before I come out. So we're going to roll onto our side. And it's important that we stay down for just a little bit and center ourselves. So take a couple of breaths. This is avoiding getting lightheaded. And now, since we're right down here and I have a couple of things, I would like to show you the proper way of lifting. Most of the time, people lift with just the lumbar. They bend down and lift something, and this really puts so much strain on the lumbar. I want to show you what I do to remind myself. I bring my chin forward, that locks the spine. I want to make sure my spine is in this natural S curve before I lift. So I lift with my quads. And if you lift with your quads, you have all of your vertebrae to help you lift. We're coming back for Shavasana. This Shavasana will be a very supported one. I want to show you something. This is really good if you ever have a headache, because we just worked hard here. So I want to show you how this works with the block and the sandbag. Get your eye pillow ready. We're going to keep this up here because we need it. And we're going to put this bolster for traction under our knees. We're going to lie back, and I want to show you something. The block should go right to your head, like this. And then we're going to take the sandbag, take the handle on the other side, and you're going to place it onto your forehead and onto the block. And now I have to try to find my eye pillow. My eye pillow is coming down on top. This puts pressure on my forehead, and it's actually very pleasant. And it's very easy to do with the block. We're going to go through these adjustments of stretching out the legs, lifting the hip, making sure the sacrum is down. And then our head adjustment, of course, is going to have to just stay here because we're putting a little bit more weight on. Try to fold in the shoulder blades without interrupting too much. And we're going to lie down in Shavasana, relaxing. Take a deep breath. You might want to yawn or sigh, whatever it is that you like to do. We're just going to relax and be very still. The hardest thing in Shavasana is to be silent. So this weight on your forehead will actually help the mind be quiet. When you have a lot of things going on and you're in a hurry, this is a good Shavasana to do, because it's all about relaxing your body, which is supported and should feel nice and heavy, and quieting the mind, bringing the mind into silence. And with your next exhalation, start wiggling those fingers, the toes, moving the ankles. Stretching out. Taking these supports off. Keeping the eyes closed. Inhale, and as you exhale, roll over to the right side. Curl up into a fetal position. Take a few more breaths, and as you're ready, open the eyes. And again, use your arms and hands to push yourself back up. Come into your favorite seated position. Namaste.